Most people think a Barbie doll is just a harmless toy. But what if I told you that one particular Barbie was returned to the store 7 times, and every family that owned it claimed the exact same terrifying thing, that the doll moved on its own at night? This story starts in 2018 when a 14-year-old girl named Alina bought a beautiful pink Barbie doll from a small toy shop near her house. It looked completely normal. Blonde hair, blue eyes, and a bright pink dress. But the strange part began on the very first night, when Alina woke up around 3:12 a.m. because she heard a faint plastic clicking sound from her shelf. At first she thought it was just the wind or maybe something falling, but when she opened her eyes she froze because the Barbie that she clearly remembered leaving sitting on the shelf was now lying on her study table, facing her bed, as if it had been watching her sleep. She felt a chill run down her spine, but convinced herself she must have moved it earlier and simply forgot. The next morning, she placed the doll back on the shelf and went to school, but when she returned home, something felt wrong. Her room door was slightly open, even though she clearly remembered locking it before leaving, and the moment she stepped inside, she saw the Barbie again. This time sitting perfectly upright on her pillow, staring directly toward the door like it had been waiting for her to come back. Alina immediately asked her mother if she had entered the room or moved the doll, but her mother looked confused and said she hadn't even gone upstairs all day. That night, Alina decided to test something. She placed the Barbie inside her closet and closed the door tightly, even putting a chair against it so it couldn't open easily. But at exactly 3:17 a.m., she woke up again. This time not because of a noise, but because she felt something cold touching her arm. And when she slowly turned her head toward the side of the bed, the Barbie doll was lying right next to her, staring straight. Alina's heart started pounding so loudly she could hear it in her ears. And for a few seconds, she couldn't even move because the Barbie's glassy blue eyes were pointed directly at her face like it had been watching her breathe the entire time. She grabbed the doll with shaking hands and threw it across the room, turning on the light instantly. And the moment the light filled the room, the doll looked completely normal again. Just a lifeless toy lying on the floor. But Alina was sure of one thing. She had locked it inside the closet. The next morning, she told her parents everything, but they assumed she was just having nightmares. So to prove something was wrong, Alina decided to record her room at night using her old phone. She placed the camera on her desk, pointing directly at the shelf where the Barbie sat, and went to sleep pretending everything was normal. But that night, at exactly 3:17 a.m., she woke up again with the same strange feeling in the room. The air felt colder than usual, and there was a faint scratching sound somewhere near the wall. She was too scared to look around, so she just forced herself to stay still until morning. And when the sun finally came up, the first thing she did was grab the phone and check the recording. At first, the video looked completely normal, just a quiet, dark room for hours. But when the timestamp reached 3:16 a.m., something strange happened. The Barbie's head slowly turned toward the camera, even though nobody was in the room. Then at 3:17 a.m., the doll's arm moved, slowly pushing itself forward until it slid off the shelf and disappeared from the camera frame. And the next part of the footage made Alina's stomach drop because a few seconds later the camera captured something crawling on her bed, but it didn't look like a normal toy anymore. The doll's body was twisted in a way plastic should never bend, and its head turned slowly toward the place Alina felt her hands go cold while watching the rest of the footage because at 3:17 a.m., the twisted Barbie slowly crawled across the blanket toward her sleeping body, moving in short, unnatural jerks like something was controlling it from inside. And then the camera caught something even worse. The doll stopped right next to her pillow, and its head tilted upward, as if it was listening to her breathing, staying completely still for almost 30 seconds before suddenly turning its face directly toward the camera again. And at that exact moment, the recording cut out with a loud static sound. Terrified, Alina showed the video to her parents, but strangely, when they played the file again, the part after 3:16 a.m. was completely gone, as if it had never been recorded, which made them believe the phone had simply glitched. But Alina knew what she had seen. So that same day, her father decided to return the doll to the toy shop where it was bought. And when the shop owner saw the Barbie in the box, his face immediately turned pale, because he quietly told them something he had never told customers before, that the exact same doll had been returned 6 times by different families, each one claiming their children woke up at 3:17 a.m., saying the doll was standing near their bed watching them sleep. But the creepiest part came a week later when Alina thought everything was finally over, until one evening she opened her school bag to take out her notebook, and inside the bag, sitting perfectly upright between her books, was the same pink Barbie doll, even though her father had thrown it away miles from their house. Ghost.